call it alkalosis. If the pH is low,
Acidosis.
we call it acidosis. And then you have to figure out, is the alkalosis and acidosis due to respiratory cause or not?
Right.
Okay, so for instance, let's say the pH is high, the CO2 is high. Okay, is the high pH due to the high CO2?
No.
No. So therefore, this is not a respiratory cause, so this is a metabolic cause. So this is called metabolic alkalosis. And if the renal system kicks in, right? Sorry, it's not due to a metabolic cause. And so therefore, what is the bicarb going to look like? It's going to be high.
Oh.
Okay. So why is the carbon dioxide level high if it's a metabolic cause?
Yeah, lungs are fine.
The lungs work fine, but why is the carbon dioxide level high?
Because it's from the metabolic, the byproduct
What are we talking about? Remember we were talking about buffer system? Right? Buffer system, what happens first? Chemical buffer kicks in, then physiologic buffer.
So the hydrogen
And the
are.
physiologic buffer starts out with the lung kicking in, and then the renal system kicks in.
Where's the notes?
Right? So if your body is making too much base, then you're alkalotic.
Right.
The buffer system, the chemical buffer system kicks in, but it still is alkalotic. And then the respiratory system kicks in. If you're alkalotic, what will your respiratory system try to do to neutralize this base?
Slow down breathing.
It's going to try to slow down your breathing so that you can accumulate more carbon dioxide, so that you can become more acidic, so you can neutralize the base. Right? So therefore, this is metabolic alkalosis with respiratory compensation.
Oh, wait.
So the respiratory system is trying to compensate for the alkalosis.
Right.
Okay.
Got it.
What if we have this? This is called
Acidosis.
low pH.
Acidosis.
We're looking at acidosis.
Is this respiratory?
If you have high CO2, it's due to the respiratory system, right? The respiratory system is high CO2, and that's causing the acid. So this is respiratory alkalosis. And again, chemical buffer kicks in. That didn't work. Respiratory system is what's wrong. Is what's causing it.
So this is
So
with
it's
renal
not
compensation.
going to fix it. And so renal kicks in. What will the renal system do? It's going to try to
Low.
excrete the hydrogen ions and reabsorb the bicarb. Remember, these two are linked together in the renal system.
So it would be
So
high.
then the bicarb would be high, right? Because you're acidic, so your renal system is going to try to reabsorb more bicarb from your urine.
So this is with renal compensation.
So this is respiratory acidosis with renal compensation.
Oh my god, my brain. I'm 5%.
Okay.
Started with 30. Huh?
You like it?
Oh, I have like super size.
Are you watching Ghost
What
Fighter?
if
Ghost Fighter?
It's not with Eugene and
I do, yeah.
No, but it's not
Sorry,
like,
I'm not 100x.
like you were
high
like,
pH makes you think acid or base?
not person.
Base, so you're
It's not like,
alkalotic.
Okay.
Is it due to
That's
carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is low. Is it due to respiratory problem or not respiratory problem?
I think it's respiratory.
yeah, respiratory.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
Huh?
Huh?
Wait.
Yeah, it's due
Give
to
me a minute. Hey.
It's due to respiratory.
If CO2 is low, then that means your respiratory rate is high.
Well, that.
Respiratory?
Yeah, respiratory, but it's not working.
Yeah, it's respiratory.
Yeah.
So
It's
if
respiratory.
your CO2 is low, that means you've blown out acid. Right?
You're
If
low
you've
in
blown out acid, would you be acidic or basic?
Basic.
You'd be basic.
So
Are you
respiratory.
basic or not basic?
Basic.
You are basic. So this basic alkalosis is due to a respiratory cause. So this is respiratory alkalosis. Okay?
Yeah.
And how will the renal system compensate?
It will go home. But it will.
Less
It will
bicarb.
try to reabsorb because it's trying to.
Will it try to retain bicarb or not? You're alkalotic.
Trying to
It's gonna try to get rid of bicarb and
Huh?
secrete less acid. Right? Secrete more bicarb and reabsorb more acid. So secrete less acid.
Oh, I'm so confused.
Okay. So this would be respiratory alkalosis with metabolic compensation.
I'm so confused.
So we don't call that one renal compensation?
So you can call it metabolic compensation, you can call it renal
Renal
compensation.
thing, we call it under metabolic.
Yeah. What if we have this and we have this?
Acidic.
That would be metabolic acid.
Metabolic acidosis.
So low pH makes it
Acidosis.
acidosis. Low CO2 would cause, so
It's not causing-
low
it's not
CO2
causing
would
it.
make it alkaline, but you're not alkaline, you're acidotic, so it's not a respiratory cause. So therefore, it's a metabolic cause. Metabolic acidosis. So bicarb would be what?
Using high
High.
to compensate for the acidosis.
But it's a metabolic cause.
So it would be low.
Or it would display as low.
Yep. Right? You've lost bicarb, therefore you've lost base, therefore you're acidic. So it's because of that that you have metabolic acidosis, and your respiratory system is trying to compensate for the excess acid by blowing out the CO2.
So it's respiratory.
Respiratory compensation.
So in these cases, it's not so much that it happens in order, but rather one will happen because the other one's not happening, right?
So it normally happens in order, but if if the respiratory system is the cause of the problem, when it tries to kick in and fix it, it's not working because it's the source of the problem. It's like going back to when we did endocrine system. Right? If the source of the problem is the pituitary is not gonna change no matter what.
Okay.
Right? If the source of the problem is the thyroid is not gonna change no matter what. Right? Same here. Okay. Let's say, so if I say low pH, high CO2, low, bicarb or whatever, you should be able to tell me what sort of alkalosis, acidosis, right? But what if I gave you the name and I asked you to tell me the pH? Okay, so let's say, you have been a prolonged smoker. So chronic smoker, which led to lung disease. What would your pH CO2 and bicarb look like?
You would have low. You would be acidic, no?
So you would, so if your lungs aren't working right, so chronic smoker would have trouble blowing out their CO2.
So you have high CO2,
So
low
acidosis.
pH.
So therefore their CO2 level will be high.
So it's respiratory acidosis, right?
So
pH is low.
pH would be low.
So
So we said it
respiratory
was, I heard
acidosis.
someone say it's a respiratory
Acidosis.
acidosis.
The bicarb.
With
And the
renal,
renal system would kick in
With
and
renal
try and do
competition.
what?
Keep the bicarb.
increase
High.
bicarb.
Keep the bicarb high, so
Increase pH.
bicarb would be high.
So respiratory acidosis
Metabolic,
with compensation?
With metabolic compensation.
Kaya ko pa yun. Kaya ko pa.
What if you've been having too much diarrhea, like you had like prolonged diarrhea? It's something really bad, food poisoning, having prolonged diarrhea. Severe diarrhea.
Maybe the Russian.
What would happen? Here's your normal body. Normally acid and base balance out. And then you had diarrhea. Is the diarrhea acidic or basic?
Both.
Isn't it neutral?
I don't know.
Basic?
Basic and acid, same.
So think of your digestive tract.
So it'd be
A lot of acid in
acidic.
the stomach.
A lot of acid in the stomach, but it gets neutralized by the base in the small intestine. Most of the liquids coming out of it comes out of the small intestines, right? And so you end up with a lot of base.
Diarrhea
So
is
therefore, you're left with
basic. Acid.
acid.
So we have a
So what condition would this be?
Acidosis.
Acidosis. So
But metabolic. But metabolic.
Metabolic acidosis. So
So
your pH would be
low.
low.
CO2 would be low.
Low CO2, low bicarb.
So I hear CO2 is high, I hear CO2 is,
No, bicarb is low.
bicarb is low because you lost a lot of bicarb. And then CO2 would do what?
Would increase.
Increase
So
to
with
compensate.
respiratory
So how did
competition.
your respiratory system deal with this?
That's kind of-
It's increasing.
In terms of rate and depth of breathing?
It slows it
Slower,
down.
slowing down.
It's gonna slow down the rate and depth of breathing. It's gonna lower the rate and depth of breathing to accumulate more CO2, to make it more acidic,
Does
so
that
that
mean
you're.
Bicarb already.
Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
that
you.
means-
Down, right?
Yeah.
So you
Down.
increase your rate of breathing.
Opposite. Yep. So you're acidic, so then you're gonna try and get rid of the acid. So increase the rate and depth of breathing to blow out the acid. And so your CO2 levels will be low. Okay. What if you've been exercising for a long time?
A lot of lactic acid.
Good. So if you've been exercising for a long time, prolonged exercise,
Oh, you also have lower oxygen.
right? Your muscles working really hard.
More
Right.
CO2. and
So
more
you're not bringing in as much oxygen as your muscles need.
So you're acidic.
So you kick in, what sort of respiratory system kicks in?
Oh,
Anaerobic respiratory, cellular respiration.
Yeah.
So you're building up
lactic acid.
lactic acid.
So acidosis.
Is this a respiratory cause or a metabolic cause?
Metabolic.
This is a metabolic cause, so this is metabolic acidosis. So pH would be down, CO2 would be, if it's metabolic acidosis, that means the respiratory system will compensate. So you're trying to
CO2 is low.
breathe faster, to blow out the CO2. bicarb would be metabolic
Oh,
acidosis.
because it's not functioning, the bicarbs are low.
Low. What if we
I mean, can you flex your cervical?
what if we
Can you do cervical
vomited excessively?
I'll take
Food
this
poisoning
second
and vomiting.
Get rid of this acid.
You get rid of acid.
You're basic.
So then you're
More basic.
basic.
Metabolic alkalosis.
So we would be at metabolic
Get rid of the
alkalosis. So pH would be
High.
high. Bicarb would be
High.
Or I mean, it's like high, yeah.
it's gonna be high. And the respiratory system would be what?
You have that.
It would be
So,
low.
more CO2.
More CO2. You're gonna,
Oh.
Okay, you're trying to
right?
They're trying to
Respiratory
increase
rate
the
and
acid.
depth of breathing would go in what direction?
Lower
down.
breathing.
Lower
To
breathing
increase CO2.
to increase CO2 to balance out the alkalosis. Okay. If this were the case, what would be your water status?
Oh,
Low.
Oh, the.
hyperosmotic contraction.
Expect to see questions that involve both.
CF goes down.
So
Hyper.
ECF, what goes down?
The volume goes down.
Volume goes down.
Hyperosmotic
Osmolarity stays the
for
same.
contraction.
Osmolarity stays the same
Because it's
as it's isoosmotic.
Isoosmotic.
Oh.
And then
Isoosmotic
ECF.
contraction.
So there's no change.
It would be isotonic.
Because there's
Isotonic.
isotonic,
So this would be what?
isosmotic
Isosmotic
contraction.
contraction.
So in this case, you give them isotonic
Just good.
solution.
You would give them
Water.
isotonic solution. Okay. Which would be what?
Normal saline.
Normal saline. So, I wanted to point this out to you guys. Okay. Respiratory acidosis. Common causes of respiratory acidosis. Someone who's born with some sort of chest deformity will have trouble breathing out, blowing out. If they have trouble blowing out, they're going to accumulate CO2. So this is a respiratory cause, and they're going to be acidic, so respiratory acidosis. Chronic lung disease or airway disease. Same thing, right? We just went over that up on the other board. If you use a lot of sedatives, like someone who's, let's say you broke your leg, you went in for surgery, you're in a lot of pain, but they didn't catch up, the pain medication didn't catch up, so you're constantly getting more and more pain meds, right? The pain meds will depress your breathing, right? If it depresses your breathing, you're not blowing out the carbon dioxide, you're gonna build up carbon dioxide, you're gonna be acidic. Respiratory acidosis. Okay. Obesity, same thing. Respiratory acidosis. Okay. Metabolic acidosis, these are some examples of metabolic acidosis. So DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis. These people have a buildup of ketone bodies. Ketone bodies are acidic. Okay. So they're going to be in acidosis, and it's a non-respiratory cause, so therefore it's a metabolic cause. Okay, so you want to think about how does the respiratory system, if they're in diabetic ketoacidosis, how does the respiratory system kick in to try to fix it? Okay? How would they do that? How would your respiratory system kick in? What do you think a person in DKA would do in terms of their breathing. They're gonna breathe faster, okay, to try to blow out the excess carbon dioxide. Okay. Hyperchloremic acidosis. That's the example of excess vomiting. Okay, you lose too much sodium bicarb after severe diarrhea, so you're going to be acidotic, and it's going to be a metabolic cause. Okay. Causes of lactic acidosis would also fall under metabolic acidosis. Lactic acidosis can be due to these are some common causes of lactic acidosis. Okay. Prolonged exercise, if you end up with a lack of oxygen, and it's not due to your lungs itself, like, going up high in high elevation, lack of oxygen. Being in a room that is not exchanging air, so you're not getting enough oxygen. These things cause lactic acidosis, and it's a metabolic cause, okay? Medications such as salicylates will also cause you to be acidotic, and it's also a metabolic cause. And then serum glucose levels being low, so hypoglycemia, also lactic acidosis, right? And then alcohol is also another cause of lactic acidosis. Okay. Any questions? Yes.
Where is this list?
Salicylates are a type of medication, so aspirin would fall under that.
And so
They
as a
form
result, they form acid.
acid. Yep.
Okay.